Hello.
Hey.
It's Game Club.
Now with fancy mics, can you hear me now?
This Game Club
Good.
is about Shadow Complex.
Yes. So Shadow Complex, this was my suggestion. I'm pretty proud of the suggestion because I really enjoy the game and I hope more people played it. This is a game that originally came out in 2009 and I thought was one of the games that really set the bar for Xbox Live Arcade.
Yeah, absolutely.
This was one of the games that showed how that smaller downloadable indie style game could be done. It was made by Chair Entertainment, which are now the guys, they moved on and decided we'll just make Infinity Blade and make fuck off money. So I don't think we'll see another.
So we get no Shadow Complex 2.
That's been rumored.
Probably
Shadow
not.
Complex 2 has been rumored to be in development ever since the first Shadow Complex
Well,
came
it was
out.
such a hit, and it's not like the. I mean, again, this is a spoiler thing. So again, the story doesn't leave it in a place where you're like, well, I couldn't follow that up.
Let's talk about the story of Shadow
Yeah,
Complex.
what fucking story?
Give me a second. First, I want to say I did play it on the Xbox One. They had a
As did I,
remastered
yeah.
version.
I played it on the Xbox One as well, the
there's-
remastered version.
There's also a PC version where if you downloaded Epic's Game Launcher earlier this year, you could have gotten it for free. So I've got it on my PC also,
Nice.
but I played it on my Xbox One. I love Shadow Complex. I want to preface before anything else. Before I say anything else, I thought it was a great game. I think everyone should play it.
And here comes the shit.
Absolutely amazing.
But
What is going on with this story?
all right, it's a little all over the place.
I gotta say, this has to be the shittiest date
Okay,
ever, right?
you know-
Because it's like this guy goes out to go hiking with this girl that apparently maybe he just met very recently, and they go out hiking. She gets kidnapped by a paramilitary organization trying to take over the world, or at least America, I should say.
Yeah, or incite a civil war in the United States.
And he needs to save her. And then it turns out the whole time that she was a spy using him to infiltrate the system.
And
Well,
his
it's
dad had
it's
prepped
girl,
him for...
you're a professional. You should be doing these
What?
infiltrations. Why would you bring along a guy on a first date who you looked up his profile and thought, yeah, he'll do to save the country?
What?
Took him on a first date
He had
hiking
the
and then got
skills?
yourself kidnapped and
What
paralyzed.
a shitty damsel in distress scenario.
It's pretty shitty. So, funny enough, it was actually the original script was written by Peter David, he's done comic books and he's a Star Trek novelist, and it's supposed to be parallel to the events of an Orson Scott Card book or series, Empire.
Oh, that's where the racism plays in.
Oh, right. But it was Empire. It'll dovetail with the sequel to the book Hidden Empire. So it's not a strong story.
But it's
At
fun
all.
gameplay.
I mean,
Yeah.
at the time I wasn't offended because I was more thinking wow, this shit's dated, but it's not that long ago.
Yeah, and then
It is in computer world.
the other problem I had with the story is the opening sequence where you play as the guy who has the suit trying to stop the assassination of the vice president.
Wait, hold on.
What does that have to do with
I
anything?
had the remastered version.
know.
I did not play that.
Yeah, that was in the
It's
original.
it's the very beginning. You start as the guy in Washington D.C. or the suburbs of D.C. maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry.
It's real
You're-
short.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, now I remember it. I forgot it because it didn't match
It's a
anything that
kind
went
of a
with the
non
game
sequitur.
itself.
It's a
Okay.
setup
And
for
then
the larger world,
don't-
but it doesn't...
Don't they kill that guy by taking control of his suit remotely? And if that's the case, why don't they just stop the protagonist in Shadow Complex by taking control of the suit that he's fucking stealing from them?
Nah, his is special.
It's the same suit.
His was in demo mode, they have at the store.
It was hidden in so many different fucking places. I'm sure they figured, they honestly they forgot that suit existed.
Maybe that's the
They
issue.
were
yeah,
gradually
it's
misplacing parts. You know how you walk in the door when you get home after
Just,
a long
taking
day,
off
and the
one-
first thing you're just taking off clothes. Someone had that day all around the Shadow Complex.
Huge base. Yeah.
It was huge base. The game, for those who did not play along with us, is very Metroid style. It's 2.5D.
one of the real early titles of 2.5D that I even remember.
Yeah.
And it's really set the stage, I think, for later things like Assassin's Creed has done a lot of 2.5D now.
Yeah, there's a lot of exploration, and you'll get a power up, and then you can go back and re-explore areas and get more collectibles and that sort of thing. But one of the unique things about this game is that there's depth to it, which is where the 2.5D comes from, where
so enemies
there can
can
be
be
enemies
back.
And
it's a full 3D environment, but you mostly interact in 2D.
That is one of the things that when it came out way back when, it didn't bother me. Now it bothers me. of how fucking hard it is to shoot those guys.
Sometimes
you can't
it can be
make
tricky
yourself
sometimes,
aim
yeah.
in the back.
You kind of got to like wiggle the stick in
Yeah.
that direction, and then maybe you'll turn.
He's like,
Yeah, because you can set the aiming, but it's almost like it does, parallel to the screen, whatever depth you're in, like this sort of angle.
Yeah.
And then getting them to switch and go in is, you just have to pray that
gotta find the sweet spot.
that he locks onto the guy. There's nothing you can do to guarantee that. It's really quite annoying.
he's a pro. He's got it. No worries.
So-
I mean, apparently,
because his dad told him that he should be prepared one day.
And he didn't want to, and he rejected that.
Look, it's a story old as time itself, right? I mean, come on. Dad
Boy
really
meets
wants you
girl,
to grow up
girl
and
takes
save
boy
the United
hiking.
States. Instead, you meet a girl named Claire who gets herself captured by a paramilitary organization, and you have to save the day, relying on the skills that were instilled upon you from a very early age, including all the physical conditioning, for no reason that was apparent.
Yeah. It's interesting.
It's like Hercules.
The game was actually, and I played it when it first came out on the Xbox 360. Playing it through for Game Club, it was actually shorter than I remember it being. I didn't get every collectible
I had the
this
opposite
time,
problem.
but I think it only took me 6 or 7 hours, maybe.
I think
to
there's
finish the whole
achievements,
game.
right, to beat it 100% in 3 hours or less.
Oh wow.
So, I mean, it's doable in considerably less time.
I looked at the achievements, and my first thought was, yeah, fuck off. That's never happening. I haven't 100%ed it. I did get all of the different power-ups so that I could get the fusion helmet. So I got the pass keys, and I got all the the missiles and all that sort of stuff. And so I did get the fusion helmet. Hunting down those pass keys took a lot of time.
How many passkeys are there? I think I've only
12.
I think oh shit.
There's 12
Yeah, I only found like
passkeys.
3 or 4 in my playthrough.
Yeah, they're really hidden, and some of them are kind of obtuse to get to. But I did because I wanted the fusion helmet. I don't know about you guys, but for me, I think it was the helmet that put it over the edge, turned the final boss fight into kind of a joke.
What does the fusion helmet do? I didn't get that the first playthrough either.
So when you first get the suit, and it's like, oh, your power is at 50%, and
Yeah.
then you add the
Boots and
the
all
super
that shit.
boots,
Mhm.
which
Accessories.
the whole time I was like, hell, laser team boots, yes. Or you get the the various things, and it'll increase it by 10%. That takes it the final percentage, so it's now like the suit's 100%. But I think it felt more like it took it to 200%, either that or. Although by the end I was just mowing through guys, I had no concerns about dying to humans.
Even without the fusion helmet, the last battle wasn't that difficult.
Okay.
It's like you jump around and you launch missiles at
It's
a flying aircraft carrier, kind of like
almost
from the
felt
You can only
Avengers.
Insulting.
make it so. I mean, again, it's being kind of new to the 2.5D. I imagine the play balancing was kind of challenging. So maybe that was what kind of led to it being. Well, I mean, there's also scalable difficulty levels, right? You
I guess
play
that's
it
true.
back
I
I
on.
was playing
normal.
on normal.
Yeah, you could if you found it not challenging, you just didn't play it on a hard enough skill level.
I guess
I guess so.
I'm too good for normal.
Yeah, because there were some decent boss battles. I thought there's the one where they keeps trying to step on you and you have to shoot the foam at it, and then like
right.
hook up and tear pieces out so you can get its shield down so you can kill it. That one for me was reasonably challenging, and then there were a lot of very challenging platforming segments if you were trying to get some of the various collectibles. And in comparison to some of those ordinary battles that you come across just in playing the game, the final battle was
At least they
disappointing.
At least they never really just fell back on one mechanic. So it
True.
kept finding new ways to engage with the bosses, and didn't just go get, like you throw a grenade under it.
Well, I think they can add that variety as you unlock different weapons.
Right.
You're able to unlock the foam, you're able to unlock missiles. So it's like, how can you incorporate those into new battles? So I mean, I guess that makes sense.
And by the end, you're Iron Man.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, like getting each of those power-ups was a lot of fun. You'd get them, and then immediately, like the next thing you would encounter would be a thing to test them on and learn them and figure out how to use them to their fullest. And then you're just climbing around this enormous base like a monkey. It's fantastic.
I thought the game does a great job with the in-game map, showing you where to go and where your objectives are. That's what I think maybe separates it a bit from some of the old classic 2D Metroid games, where it was in those old games it was just like
you just
the
had to
map.
remember.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
you'd kind of explore it. Whereas here it's like very clear, like this is the line, this is where you need to go, and I thought it was really easy to navigate.
It was a good balance of information because it showed you there's something of interest here that you haven't got yet, or there's something you totally got it here. There's a full door here, or there's maybe a kind of sneaky way through here. Or there's a full-on wall. So you could kind of map your way through if you knew you needed to get from point A to point B, but it wouldn't show you all the challenges that you've got coming up.
Yeah.
You had to encounter a lot of stuff as you hit it.
Yeah. So overall, I mean, it's a fun game. I think if you've if you see it for sale for a couple bucks, definitely pick it up. I don't know how much it was.
Let me look it up on Steam
I
right
say
now.
remastered was like $14.99, but I could be wrong.
Somewhere around there. I think it's probably worth like 10, 15 bucks.
I'm
If
actually
you're a completionist, I'd say it's easily worth 15 because you'll probably have at least 2 or 3 playthroughs, which would get you. I mean, granted, one of the achievements is for doing it in. I think there's a couple achievements for doing it under certain time blocks, which will kind of trim it down. But sometimes trying to do it in under a certain amount of time can lead to you playing more than you would otherwise. So
definitely,
there's a lot of replayability there if you're a completionist, and the platforming and the combat systems are interesting enough that replaying it would not, and the game's not long enough that you would feel bad doing a 2 or 3.
right?
Yeah. So the remastered version on Steam is $15. The achievements here. Let me look at the achievement list because it is kind of insane.
It's like, do you want to be a speedrunner? Start here.
Yeah. There's
Get the boots.
it goes over from like super easy to where it's like melee 5 soldiers, and you go, okay, yeah, first thing I did. But then you've got other ones that are fun. They're like punt 20 of the different like bombas, the little robot dudes.
Those are fun.
You get 100 soldiers to scream, which is just like, I guess, trying to throw them off a high spot. Although I could never figure out like consistently like what the thing was to make them
Seems like
scream.
you have to. At least I triggered it a lot when I was doing like a ledge kill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or if you just happen to knock them off something, even if I think sometimes you could even shoot them.
Yes, and if they fell off.
And as long as they fall.
Yeah, so there's one that's once you get the boots and you superpower them up, there's like the hyperspeed. One's to get from one side of the lake to the other, all in one hyperspeed. So you have to like memorize that map, which sounds pretty crazy. Complete the game with 100% of items. Great for completionists. I'm totally not going to do it. Complete the game with less than 13% of the items, so like a bare bones run.
That's interesting.
Level up to 50, which, what level-ish were you guys when you completed it?
I
I'm
don't
pretty
even
sure I was like
remember.
17, 18.
Probably somewhere around there. I don't even remember.
I will never get to 50.
Maybe it rolls
That's
over
just,
to subsequent playthroughs.
Maybe like
if you
New
do
Game Plus.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that was just for Shadow Complex. I think here we go, remastered. So they basically went through and added more masochistic achievements for the remastered version.
I know there's definitely one for the do you guys do the secret ending? You can do that in about 15 minutes
I don't
probably.
think so.
It's very in the same genre as.
What was it?
Wow.
Well, I'm curious. What was the secret
Yeah.
ending?
Okay, so Claire gets taken. You go
Right.
down, and you find her, but instead, they start dragging her off. Instead of going after her, you can just go back up to the top, and you do have to kind of run kind of a circuitous path to get there, and then jump a couple pretty significant gaps. But make it back to the starting area, get back in your Jeep, and just drive off.
Oh,
really?
I like that. I like
totally
that a
want
lot.
to try that because she had no right to get me
She
involved
really
with
didn't.
that stuff.
But as
was
you
the
drive off,
first
the name of the
date.
achievement and what he says is like, lots of fish in the sea.
Wow.
Love it. I am
Wow.
absolutely going to do that. I feel like I've earned it. So the remastered version added, there's a complete the game at 100% in under 2 hours.
Under 2
Jeez.
hours.
I don't even know how that's possible. And then there's a complete the game at 100% in under 3 hours on insane
Oh, wow.
difficulty. Complete the game at 4% with only the flashlight, backpack, grenade, foam, and missile.
Wow.
Ooh.
Yeah, and then there's the abandoned Claire. So I'm going to go back and get the abandoned Claire
I'm
one because
totally
I feel
doing
like
that
one.
I feel like she's earned it.
You have to
She's
go a
earned
little bit further
abandonment.
than you think.
It's 15 minutes. I can do that. That's
Yeah.
fine.
I'd say you probably do it in 15, yeah. You have to, because once you jump down that hole, you can't just go back up. You have to kind of go around and work your way to the other side of the gap.
Gotcha.
And then work across the top.
Should we pull out the cylinder?
Yeah,
We
let's do it.
should. I feel like this was a good month.
It's
Yeah.
a good game. Absolutely enjoyed playing it. But I mean, a lot of folks hopefully probably already did. But
All right, here we go.
cylinder.
Oh, hold on.
You're tethered.
We got new mics. We're still learning them. Ready? Whoop.
Yep.
I added a couple of games in there today.
Let's see if you got lucky.
Okay, this.
Oh.
I do that like every month. Okay.
It's hard to latch sometimes.
This is Ryan's suggestion.
Oh,
It's called Never Ending Nightmares.
that sounds like a Ryan game.
Ryan,
Remember
what is Never
suggesting.
Ending Nightmares?
Wait, let me see this ball.
Is it? Are you validating your handwriting?
I don't know if this is my handwriting. I don't know that I did this.
Really?
I
So
mean,
Never Ending Nightmares. It's a video game developed by Infinitap. It's a horror game drawing inspiration from the lead designer Matt Gilgenbach's personal struggles with obsessive compulsive disorder. Ryan?
wait. This sounds familiar.
It's on Windows, OS 10, Linux, PS4, Vita.
Never ending.
It came out in 2014. It's
Oh,
a
there's
survival
video
horror.
up there.
Oh,
I mean,
Ryan, you suggested this?
maybe I was asleep. That looks grim.
So let's see.
God, it looks awful.
Never-
Good. Maybe eyes get eaten.
It was all a dream. Never-Ending Nightmares revolves around Thomas Smith, a young man who is suffering from a seemingly endless string of nightmares, hence the title. Another character, Gabby, is introduced as his little sister and frequently appears in his nightmares, occasionally changing roles. He finds her dead a lot. He also dies, sometimes by his own hand.
It's
Ryan.
got a 74% on Metacritic. It sounds like it. I mean,
well, I look forward to playing it.
we've played worse.
All right, let's find out if this is our new sunset.
So we'll see you guys next time with Never Ending Nightmares.
And I think next game club is gonna be a little bit different. We're gonna
Oh.
change the setup a little bit.
Okay.
We'll play with it.
Okay.
Should be
great.
fun. Surprises.
Bye.
Bye.
It was weird.
Well, that
it
does
felt
sound like it's more of a game than several of the ones we've played.